Waka, what's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch review, and we got Eaglemoss back on the table today. We are continuing along with our Wolf 359 saga, and we are in the second to last of the ships, and today on the table, we're going to be taking a look at the Challenger class U.S.S. Buran? I'm going to go with Buran, and feel free to correct me in the comments. I do apologize. But there is the Challenger class right before us on the table on its stand. It kind of stands awkwardly, and to be honest, I'm not even actually sure if that's the right stand because it got jumbled around while moving. But anyway, we're going to dig real deep into it very shortly here. Now, again, we're not going to take a look at the boxes. All the boxes are the same, and just FYI, I am in the process of a move, so as soon as I finish this review, it's probably going to get packed away for a move, and hopefully redisplayed very, very soon. So that being said, let's get right on it. All right, so let's start off with taking a good look at the magazine. There we have a nice underside shot of the U.S.S. Buran, the Challenger class, NCC 57580. It is a Challenger class launched in the 24th century, the length of 390 meters, max speed of warp 9.6. And then, of course, we have it with its odd nacelle layout. And for those of you that care, that are sticklers, Gene Roddenberry, this kind of violates his rules, as do many ships in the universe. Again, this is just kind of a fun fact. He always believed that the warp coil areas should be facing one another, so this would kind of violate those rules. Its warp field wouldn't work, so whatever, take that for what you will. So let's open it up. And then, of course, we got the contents: Challenger class, Borg, timeline, Star Trek, TNG, fourth season makeup on screen. And then, of course, we have some stand instructions. And then we have a nice orthographic front view of the Challenger class. It is a Challenger class Starfleet, 24th century, 390 meters long, with a crew of 300, warp 9.6 max speed, phaser emitters and photon torpedoes in its payload. Then some up-close shots of the impulse engines, the Bussard collector, and the back of the stern of the ship with the shuttle bay. So there we go. Moving in. Don't get ahead of yourself, Finch. Don't get ahead of yourself. And then we have a nice shot of the Buran right there. A bunch of text. We got Wolf 359, the fleet, all beat up. With its unique positioning of warp nacelles, the Challenger class stood out among Starfleet ships in the 24th century. And yeah, I do believe this is another ship that was only seen at Wolf 359. But feel free to correct me in the comments. And then we have, we get an extra orthographic view. So we got the side, we got the top, and then we got the stern of the ship, looking really, really good. I absolutely love these, especially for a ship that is not seen enough. You already know that. Borg timeline. We have shots from Best of Both Worlds. We have the Borg Sphere from First Contact, and then we have from Regenerate, which was the Enterprise episode, which was surprisingly good. When I first watched this episode on Enterprise, it was many years ago. I actually watched it after. I'm one of those people that gave up on Enterprise the first time it came out. So when I did a complete watch of the series a few years ago, I finally saw the episode. Like, I read about it before I watched it, and then I was pleasantly surprised. So we got some more footage in here. And then, of course, from Endgame, the transwarp conduit. And then, of course, we got some shots from Best of Both Worlds, Locutus of Borg. And then, of course, we got some Dr. Soong shots and Data. And we got, oh man, I forget, Gowron, that's his name. I mean, he's such a creepy dude to forget. And then we have their Boolean hairdresser. And then we have Mr. Mark, I forget his last name, from before he became Gul Dukat. That was a different Cardassian. And then, of course, the looks like the Durhas sisters. And then, of course, we got more Wolf 359, and on the back, a nice orthographic top view of the U.S.S. Buran. So yeah, I'm not even sure if this is the right stand, and once again, whichever stand it is, I glued it, so, oh, it is for the Nebula class, whoops. So, okay, well, either way, the stand for this ship, again, as you see in the instructions, either way it works, you just attach it to the back of the saucer, and there you go. This is not the correct stand, but again, when you do have the correct stand, so there you go. We're not too worried about it. Again, stuff happens when you move and all that good stuff, so I'm not very good at marking anything, so there we go. And let's get a good look at the U.S.S. Buran. It is quite a smaller ship. I believe the ship was like maybe 4 inches long, at least the model anyway. And yeah, no, it looks, again, this has more of the gray profile that the Galaxy class has, and nice details. You can see the Aztecing around the saucers. You got to kind of get in there. It's like a kind of lighter gray, but it is there. And you got, of course, the segmented spaces around the ship. Yet another ship to have the escape pods on the outside of the saucer. So this is kind of a mainstay, one row of escape pods on the outer edge of the saucer. And then you got, of course, the windows. Doesn't look like there's any misalignments. They look just like straight on there, so there really is no spot for the window, so they put those on there. And then, of course, it looks like it is aligned pretty good on the bridge area. You can see those white windows. I love how they have that, just that nice subtle detailing on the bridge that looks really, really good. U.S.S. Buran, NCC 57580 in black boldface with the red outline. Looks really, really good. And then, of course, you got some detailing. I hear some silvers and golds to kind of divvy everything up. And then, of course, moving around to the back as we go to the stern. Now we're starting to see a little bit of window misalignment, but whatever. I don't care. And coming around back again, is just a really interesting sign. You got the shuttle bay, and yeah, no, that is the shuttle bay. So it does not have the standard Galaxy because it's smaller than a Galaxy. So the shuttle bay is back here, right under the nacelle. Pretty interesting choice, but hey, whatever. Just wait till we see the ship that we're gonna look at next. And again, we had some strange escape pod place. So it's like escape pods here and here, but it's like, man, the chances of hitting the nacelle. Especially the Buran collector and the warp coils, that does not sound like an escape pod I want to use. But when you gotta get off in a hurry, I guess, whatever. Speaking of the nacelles, there's the Galaxy class style. They look to be the same length, just kind of held. So this one's on a smaller nacelle pylon. This one's on a longer one. U.S.S. Buran on the side, done really good in that text. And of course, we got the Federation logo. Same thing for the bottom here, and it is Aztec very nicely. But yeah, the nice transparent red for the Buran collector, and the nice transparent blue for the warp coil. Looks really good. And then coming around to the bottom again, we got the escape pods. We got more of that Aztec detail. We got some little vent details around here, right around the sensor pod, so that looks really good. And it looks like what we have is it looks like these were intended to be windows, but they didn't paint them in. But it is what it is. I mean, for what we get, it looks really, really good. It is a nice, it's got some weight to it considering how small it is. So I mean, it's definitely, especially if you are, again, I always say this, if you're a fan of these ships, this is definitely not a model that's slacking, especially considering how little we saw the ship. So again, really, really good looking. And for a quick comparison, we'll bring in the Galaxy Class XL. And yeah, we can see that, it's not really to scale. This ship is just under 400 meters. So again, it should be a little bigger than halfway, and it's kind of just under halfway the length of the Galaxy. But it's relatively close. But there you can kind of see how they look side by side, and we'll put them up like this. And yeah, if you wanted, you could kind of kind of fake it till you make it. Looks really, really good. You can just, that looks pretty decent. So then, of course, let's bring it around to the front. And there you go. Man, that front profile just looks so weird. I like it. I don't not like it. Just a really weird looking front profile. I mean, kit bashes, I love them. But yeah, just so weird. But it's so cool how they look like they belong in the same family. So I really like it. And last but not least, it is getting crowded in here, but there it is with its fellow brethren from Wolf 359. And yeah, that absolutely looks just glorious. This fleet of kitboshes, I absolutely love it. I think it is totally cool looking. Really, really good stuff. So yeah, take it all in, and we got one more ship to go before we make this ship big, and we'll add in the Melbourne at the next video. So there we go. All right, and let's summarize. And there we have it for the Eaglemoss of Starships Collection U.S.S. Buran, the Challenger class. And yeah, overall, again, what can I say? It's a quirky kitbosh ship, and that's personally what I love about it. It's just, it's so cool, once again, that Eaglemoss gives us these neat little models, and then substantial models, no less, because this model really does feel substantial. It's very nicely done with the transparent plastics under the cells, very beautifully painted, beautifully detailed, and it does have a substantial, weighty feel to it. So again, really, really good stuff. I absolutely love it, and like I said, I'm so happy that we get this kind of attention to detail for a model of a ship that appeared for like what, maybe 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and not even in one piece. So yeah, no, absolutely cool. I do recommend this model if you were looking for it. However, I do not recommend overpaying for it, especially because this is one of those models that was seen in rather relatively good frequency. So definitely give a look at realmerch.com and check that out. I'll put a link in the description down below. Speaking of which, I did just buy my first realmerch.com ship, so review coming soon. I'm not gonna tell you what it is beforehand, but yeah, so I am definitely looking forward to getting that, and hopefully get that in the next week or so here, and that'll be up on the review table. So that makes sense, so I can kind of sing the praises and kind of put my money where my mouth is. So anyway, that being said, I have been FC Finch. If you like this video, consider hitting the like button. Also consider subscribing to the channel. We have one more ship in our Wolf 359 saga to do. We will be doing that next in the next review, so get ready to check that out. Also, feel free to check out the rest of my Eaglemoss playlist. I'll put a link in the description to that down below. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. And that being said, I have been SC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.